ounce flour. Oh. 1 ounce. That's lucky. 1 ounce of butter. Oh. Why didn't they say weigh it first?
You there, sweetie? I'm home.
Oh, Richard! Wait a minute, darling. Darling, I'm all flour.
Oh, never mind. It'll brush off.
You home. Darling, your hair's all wet.
Well, it's been pouring down all day.
Don't I know it?
Thank goodness for a fire.
You know, darling, I tried to put the washing out 3 times, and each time it started again.
And it's been so cold.
Oh, you did get damp, didn't you, love?
We've been on the new site all day. That Jenkins, what a slave driver. I've had no time for lunch. What's for supper?
I've made fish fingers. With a very good sauce. You do like fish fingers, don't you, darling?
Oh, yes, I love fish fingers.
What's the matter, darling? Don't you like it?
Oh, it's delicious. I just had rather a big lunch.
Big lunch? But I thought you just said you were on the
Oh,
site
yes,
all day.
well, you see, we've got a new chappie there with a kind of
Did
canteen.
you have a good dinner tonight? Make sure you do every night by watching Fanny and Johnny Craddock in the Bon Viveur program, immediately after the news.
We ought to watch that.
I suppose you mean I ought to watch it.
Darling, I just meant.
I know what you meant. Just because you don't like the things I cook for you, you think you can be as inconsiderate, rude, and ungrateful as you like.
Angel face. I just thought you'd like to see how to cook something properly, that's all.
Properly?
Darling, it's 3 months since we moved in here. We must ask Mum to dinner. I just thought...
I don't care what you think. I'm not having your mother here criticizing the way I cook.
That's not fair. My mother doesn't criticize.
Oh, doesn't she, though? She's just always telling me what a good cook that creature you used to run around with was.
That is not criticism. Hilda is a very good cook.
All right, then. Go and get her to cooking your fish fingers.
Hilda wouldn't have fiddled with fish fingers. And Hilda wouldn't have groused about having my mother to dinner either. Mother to dinner. Mother to dinner. Mother to dinner.
Janet! Tell me, Janet, what precisely have you prepared for our dinner?
Fish fingers. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Where's our dinner? Where's our dinner? Where's our dinner?
Oh, it's you again. All right, then. Go on. Show me how to make a good dinner every night.
My dear Janet, nothing could be simpler. All you need is a little knowledge, the right equipment. Come on, I'll show you now. What on earth is this horror?
I don't know. It just arrived.
Well, it'll have to go, sweetie. You can't cook without a proper gas cooker. Disgusting. Isn't that better? You know, this is solid iron. It'll make a splendid omelette pan. Omelette pans, you know, should always be made of very thick iron. Now, every new omelette pan should be treated like this. You half fill with grated rock salt, and you leave it over a bead of gas. I always say a bead of gas, but what I really mean is the lowest possible flame for 48 hours. Then your omelettes will never stick.
Do we have to wait here for 2 days?
Mm-hmm. We do not. There's one of them. There's the other. Now let's get rid of the rock salt, shall we? Go on, vanish. Now all that remains to do, when you've got rid of the salt, is just to burnish the surface with a spotlessly clean cloth, like this. Now, with a coal pan, we light a bead of gas and put the omelette pan on dry to get hot while we go and make the mixture. We've already got a bead of gas there, so we'll just leave it. Now, I've always wanted to show you this one. Come on. Eggs, butter, salt and pepper. Now, we'll break 4 eggs into this bowl. 1, thank you. 2, 3, 4. Add a little bit of salt and pepper and beat the eggs up lightly with a fork. That's enough. You don't want to bash them about until they're bandy. But then you do a little very famous French trick. With a well-scrubbed hand, you rub a little bit of softened butter through the raw beaten eggs, so that when the mixture impacts on the very hot pan, the butter, melting more slowly than the egg sets, creates layers of golden cushion. Butter there, eggs to me, right? Now, we toss in a nut of butter, and then we step up the gas to give the fullest amount of flame. Then we wait while the butter swears a bit on the pan, you can hear it, and turns slightly brown at the edges. I'm going to tip it now. Now we're ready to go. Pour in the egg mixture and go to work with the flat of the fork. Never like that. You understand? And you hold the pan in this hand, and then with the flat of the fork, you catch up the frills as they form. If you can also keep your left hand moving, it's much better. Look, watch me. Now you go on doing that until the mixture is firm on the base, but still wet on the outside, which is now. Because if it's firm all over, it's no longer an omelette, it's a pudding. Can I have that spatula? Good. Now we'll turn out the gas, flip over one edge, only one, give you that back, take our heated dish in one hand, the omelette pan in the other, and tip both at very sharp angles to each other. And then like that, we turn out our golden cushion.
Well, now, this is ideal bachelor cookery. But of course, women love it as well because it's so easy and you can make this in advance. It's called parcel cookery. All I've done is to take an ordinary baking tin and line it with foil and then brush the base liberally with oil. And then you put any food you like into it for as many people as you like. But you must make an attractive pattern because we're going to bring it to the table in the tin. Now, I've used sole for this fish dish.
Do you have to use sole?
No, you can use plaice just as easily, and you do exactly the same thing. Just coil the fillets round your fingers like that and stand them up in the foil. And then you take a couple of prawns and you stick those in the cavity, and then sprinkle shrimps down the center and down each side. Now you want a few bay leaves, and then a few drops of oil, and control the run with your finger like this. And exactly the same thing with inexpensive dry white cooking wine. Now you want a little salt and pepper to season. And finally, top of the milk or single coffee cream. And then you wrap the whole thing up loosely in a parcel like this. And now you can either cook it immediately at gas mark 5 for 25 to 30 minutes, or you can put it away in the fridge until you're ready to cook it.
Oh? How long would it keep?
Well, it'll keep at least 24 hours in the fridge, and then when it is cooked, it looks like this.
Janet, I've got something else I want to show you. Janet, do you know how to cook chips?
Oh, yes, you just prepare the chips and fry them in boiling fat. No?
No. It's what everybody thinks. But good chips must be fried twice. That's why I got 2 pans here to illustrate for you. One with still fat in it, and one with slightly smoking fat.
I see.
And you can do it, if you wish to, with 1 pan only. by waiting for the fat to heat up, but I thought this would be clearer. Start like this with a piece of raw potato, and if when you hold it in the fat, it just breaks a few bubbles gently, it's right.
It's not bubbling much, is it?
That's as it should be. Because if it bubbled fiercely, as it would in the pan that's slightly smoking on the other side, then your chips would brown as well as cook. And the whole secret is to cook them the first time until they're tender for about 4.5 minutes without them turning color at all. Then you can take them out, leave them to go cold, and do the second crisping and browning fry in the very hot fat when you want them.
How long could you actually keep them?
Well, for instance, you can do what I'm going to do now with you in the morning, leave them till the evening, and then finish frying them, do you see, for Richard when he comes home.
Oh, that's handy.
Now, here we go. 4.5 minutes in there. That's a pretty dress.
When did I change?
Dream.
Oh, dream.
Time's up. We'll turn the gas out and lift them out. Now, do you see, that's the stage at which you can put them on one side, leave them to go cold, and then you do the stage we're going to do now when it suits you. In point of fact, it suits us both to go right on, doesn't it? So, first to see that this smoking hot fat really does seethe violently.
Yes, it does.
You see that? Right. So, in they go for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes to turn a rich golden brown. 1.5 minutes up. Now, have we got crisp brown chips? Put that bit of blotting paper on for me. There, that's it there. Keep your hand away. That's right. Now, first we'll see if they look good. You can hear them sounding crisp, can't you? Now we'll pop them. Floury in the middle, crisp on the outside. No time to eat that now. I've got another kitchen to show you. Come on, let's vanish. Well, there you are. There's your new kitchen. Like it?
I think it's lovely.
Well, go on in, then. I'm getting a little bit fed up with cooking, though. I think I'll let you do it for a change.
Me? What?
Oh, a souffle.
A souffle? But that's very difficult.
Souffles are easier to make than any Yorkshire puddings. Come on, I'll show you. Here's everything you'll need. Where are my egg whites?
Tried looking.
Well, since you're here, will you pour them into the bowl for me, please?
Right. No?
Now vanish. Now, in a minute, I want you to switch this on, and then we'll whip up the egg whites, 5 of them in there, until they're absolutely stiff. Then you simply fold in 12.5 ounces of sieve jam. This is strawberry. You can use any jam you like. And you can add a touch of liqueur, but it isn't essential, so we won't do it. Now, come on, switch on. Now those egg whites are ready. Switch off. That's it. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to switch on again, just to, quite slow, 2 or 3. And then I want you to pour this strawberry jam, which has been sieved, as you know, straight down the side, and then catch it up with the spatula. That's all there is to it. Okay? Switch on. Masterclass. 4. That's fine. Scrape every little bit out. You know you can do this just as well with a rotary whisk, don't you? Just takes a little longer by hand. Okay, that's done. Now switch off. Lift up. Good girl. Now take that in that hand for lifting the mixture up, and this in this hand for steering it into the little bowls. And I'll put those for you. Ready. That's right. Go on, fill it right up. Use the other one to push it down. Now take a little bit more. That's it. And so on with the lot. Now, we shall want our oven at gas mark 7.5. So we'll light it. Starting from a stone-cold oven to disprove that utter nonsense that you need to heat a gas oven before baking any delicate item. Have you got those ready, darling? Good. In they go. Close the oven door. There. Now, in this oven, at gas mark 7.5, we've got 9 little souffles in their molds, baking for 8 minutes. But because this is a dream, we don't 8 minutes, so we'll just say 8 minutes. There you are.
Oh.
Can you take them?
Yes.
Now I'll do what I promised you and show you that however delicate the mixture, you can still turn a souffle out, and it will keep its shape perfectly. Now, have I given you the confidence to try those for yourself?
Oh, yes. But poor Richard.
Why?
Well, from now on, he'll have nothing but souffles for the rest of his life.
Oh, nonsense. Johnny's waiting to show you something else now. Go on, off you go.
Are you going to use the grill?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. Nothing I grill ever comes out right.
Well, it's perfectly simple if you remember that the whole art of grilling is in the sealing in of the natural juices. And you do that by showing a fierce flame to both sides of the meat just for a few moments. And then you can finish it off as you like it, underdone, medium, or well done, in one of two ways, under a lower heat. I'm going to show you them. Now, here I've got a mixed grill. And onto the tray in its high position, I've put, first of all, my sausages, which I've pricked with a fork first. Then my lamb cutlets, which I've salted and peppered both sides. Then I've got a kidney cut in halves, and I have put some mustard on that, and then a little oil. And now we're ready for the sealing process. I've had this grill on for some time because I want a really fierce flame, and here it goes under that fierce flame. Well, now, I want to show you something useful with this little gadget called a channeling or cannelle knife. And this is for garnish. Take an orange and just run it round like that, round the skin. You see, it makes a lovely little circle like that. And then you go round again like this. And you keep on going round until you've got a rather nice pattern. And then I shall cut it in slices. I shall cut those slices in halves. And then I'll show you in a few minutes how useful it is for garnishing, for instance, round the edge of my mixed grill.
Janet!
All right, you'd better go. It's Fanny wants you again. I'll show you this later.
Now, there you are.
Sorry, I was talking to Johnny.
Well, I want to show you something about refrigeration. It's still pre-preparation, and for it you use a tangerine. You can do it with an orange, but it's a little more difficult. And you just take the fruit and roll it between your hands and press it with your thumbs until you can feel the flesh pulling away from the inner wall of skin. Then you simply cut the lid off, as I've already done with this one. Do you see? And you can see that the skin has pulled right away, enabling you to pick out the fruit inside like this so easily. Now, when you make ice cream, instead of putting it into dreary little cups or bowls, flavor it orange or tangerine for this, pack it inside the hollowed out tangerine, put the lid on top, and then add either a bay leaf or an orange leaf if you're lucky enough to have grown them from pips. Come on over to the fridge. Look here. Open it up for me. That's what a whole set of them look like. And you can put them into the freezing drawer of your refrigerator and leave them for weeks if you like. Have you brought that for us, dear?
I have not. It's my mixed grill. Well, now, Janet, do you remember that I was showing you that business with the cannelle knife? Well, I've finished the orange, cut it in sections, and then cut those in halves, and I've put them all the way round the edge of the dish. But here, I've done another pattern with the same cannelle knife, but this time with a lemon. You can use any citrus fruit, and you can make some marvelous patterns with it, and for any of these dishes, they're absolutely...
Johnny seems to be enjoying himself, so am I. You know, I never thought I'd enjoy cooking, but you make it fun.
Of course, cooking is fun, provided you don't have to do it in a mad scramble. Just remember to pre-prepare as much as possible, plan ahead, and always have modern equipment to ensure success. Then you can experiment with something really exciting.
Wonderful. I'm sorry,
It's
darling.
all right, sweetie. It was my fault. I've turned the telly on. It's time for that Bon Vivant program.
Oh, what about the washing up?
It's all done, high and dry.
I was piggish,
No,
darling.
you weren't.
Oh, I've been thinking. You know, we've been here nearly 3 months now. What about getting your mother along to dinner? Tangerine? What have you been eating?
Oh, this. I found it in the fridge.
Where on earth did it come from?